So where we at, man, with this whole New Year's resolution type of vibe that people like to kind of give into at the start of the year?
Well, if we really think about it, people do this stuff, they say New Year resolution and everything, other things like that, and they be like, yo, I got a New Year resolution, I'm gonna do this. In the real mindset, you have to have steps for this stuff. So for instance, if I say, okay, I wanna lose 30 pounds by this month, okay, what are your steps to losing those 30 pounds? What are you gonna start with? Are you gonna start eating healthy? Then you're gonna start working out. Or are you gonna start working out and then start eating healthy? You have to have steps to this.
So so your actions have to back up whatever ambition you have for the new year.
Absolutely.
My thing is, I think a lot of people use numerology, aka a new year, as an excuse to continue to half-ass something and say, you know what, I want to win Golden Gloves, right?
Right.
But I'm not going to step on the gas till 25. Well, if it really mattered to you, you'd be stepping on the gas now.
Exactly.
Right? So you're not reliant on a new year, a new month. If you want something, you ain't gonna wait. You're gonna work out. That's my thing. So I think that's why a lot of people get exposed. But since we're on the subject, I mean, you got a resolution?
This boxing thing is levels to this stuff. You can't just hop on into it, you know what I'm saying? And I got a resolution is to slowly take it slow as possible, take my time and grind. That's it. And I just want to go up from there.
I think one of the main things that you have to acknowledge now that you're an open fighter, for those of you who don't know, an open fighter is anybody with over 9 fights, right? 10 and up, you're considered an open fighter in the amateur. So that being said, the level of opposition is going to be a lot harder.
Absolutely.
The urgency to have to really step up in the gym with the reps, with the sparring, with the cardio outside the gym, holding yourself accountable is like, you got to be on point.
Yeah.
So let's say 25 is your year and you're going to, zone in just as much as you did last year. You also have to be willing to accept the bad days they're going to come with.
Absolutely. Next level. And those are the days that really count. It's not about you winning or you coming in here and you having a great sparring session and you like, yeah, I did this, I beat this person. It's not about that. I go back and I look at my footage. I go back and I ask my coach, what can I work on? I ask you, I go, yo, what do I need to work on? What move can I do to prevent me from getting hit with this punch that I keep getting hit with consistently?
Holding yourself accountable.
Exactly.
Being open to productive criticism from your peers. And I think at your age, that's one of the hardest things to kind of process.
Yeah, right.
Kind of take feedback as negative criticism when in fact all we're trying to do is guide you so that at the end of the day, when you're up there, you dotted your I's, you crossed your T's, and it all comes down to just potential and skill sets. The real ones are going to take a loss and use it, turn it into a positive. And that's what we usually don't see from fighters, whether they're kids or even adults.
Right.
It's so easy to continue to come to the gym when you're winning fights. And
Absolutely.
You're on a winning streak and shit's looking good and all that stuff. But once you hit rock bottom, once you get exposed in the ring, let me see you come into the gym the next day and not take a week off like you just got out of a 12-round championship fight.
Exactly. Let me tell you, when you win so much, you just don't know, you're like, oh, I already did this before, this has been done before, and that fire come from under your ass. Yep. And you gotta find something to heat that fire back up to get you going again. Yeah. This is not a play sport. We don't play boxing.
You don't have a bench to rely on.
Right.
Right? If you're looking like shit and things are going downhill in the center of the ring, like you can't tag in a teammate.
Exactly.
Or tell a coach, hey coach, bench me, put in the backup. You
exactly.
Can't do that. This is why the urgency to make sure that you do what you gotta do to get ready for whatever fight you got coming up. It's the road work.
Yeah.
It's the sparring.
Absolutely.
It's the core workouts. It's the dieting. Like all these factors come into play, and that's why it's so hard. We might see a guy that loves sparring,
right,
but hates the work to improve technically. Doesn't like the heavy bag work. Doesn't like the running part. Just wants to get in there and fight.
If you are not, this the stuff like you just said. It's the stuff that makes you bored. That makes you don't want to come in. Hitting the bag, running outside the gym. This stuff is what counts at the end of the day. Because that third round, when you're tired and you're like, I can't go no more, Why? You have to have that mentality like a lion. You know what I'm saying? Anything you do is it's not about, oh, I'm winning. It's not about, I want to hit Mitch. Mitch is okay. Mitch is cool. But you can't get critiqued when you're hitting Mitch. Okay?
Look,
like
at the end of the day, I go to Instagram and I could see people of all skill sets look like pros on the mitts.
yeah.
But there's levels to the fight game.
Yeah.
I've seen people that look like shit on the mitts, but are dogs in the ring.
Absolutely.
And vice versa. But when it comes down to the actual fight game, the sweet science of the sport, right? The actual competition-based essence of the game, it comes down to, you just said it, mindset. The mindset, having the proper mindset to endure, not only physically, but emotionally. Getting hit in the face.
Yes.
You can look great on the heavy bag.
Yes.
You can look
Yes.
fly on the mitts. That don't mean shit.
Yep. That's
Because
true.
at the end of the day, the most important element of your being will get tested, and that's your mind.
This is chess.
Right.
We think about these moves before we do them. And once you do something so long, like if you hit the bag for an hour straight, boom, 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 and you switch your shots up and you switch it up, you're gonna be able to throw punches for 3 rounds straight, non-stop.
Now, if you want to get into it for fitness purposes, great. It's
Exactly.
a great sport.
We'll do it.
Right? Like it's like we like to say here, it's a great alternative to a fitness routine you might have, but this is the fight game. And people need to understand the difference between casual training and competitive training.
Exactly.
Right? So I think that's something we take pride on here, as well as do other gyms.
Other
right?
gyms, exactly.
There's good other
Right.
gyms. There's great other gyms
Right.
out there with great trainers and things like that. And-
Exactly.
and for people like us, they're easy to spot.
Exactly.
Right? But yeah, in terms of 2025, man, I mean, as far as you go, I think we work, and I love the potential we have. I think that throughout this whole course, we're gonna get tested, but I think the thing that really separates you from a lot of the competition is the confidence that you have, and you know what you are.
Exactly.
That's the thing. That's the difference. You know what you bring to the table, and you know what you're not.
Exactly.
Right? So, unfortunately, there's a lot of boxers out there that try to be something that their DNA just can't back up.
Exactly.
You got brawlers wanting to be boxers. You got
Right.
boxers wanting to be brawlers, either because that's how they're taught, or they're just misguided, or they're just egotistical.
Exactly.
Right? So, I think one of the great things about coaching is being able to guide a fighter.
Exactly.
And
Tell
really
them-
expose their DNA structure. This is what you're good at. We're going to build off of this as
Exactly.
a base system.
Yeah.
And then if we feel you have the ability to kind of transcend outside of your base system,
Yeah.
then we'll flirt with that idea.
My mind, I know what I got. I'm a dog. That's it.
Yeah.
Don't underestimate nobody.
Right.
Don't do that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
But you don't really necessarily have to worry about what's coming your way. If you have the skills, you put in the time, you put in the effort, everything at the end of the day, it goes down. It comes all back. Come down to time and effort. That's it.
So kind of just to back up that statement, big Michael Jordan fan, in my opinion, the greatest basketball player of all time, but he had a famous quote. Because they used to ask him, hey man, do you ever get nervous when going up against Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, the Pistons, the Celtics? He's like, no. Like, why? Because I work my ass off. I have
Exactly.
complete confidence in my ability.
Exactly.
And I let that do the talking. So there's no need for me to fear anything.
Right.
If I get beat, it's because the guy was just better skilled than me at the end of the day. And I can accept that.
Exactly.
What I can't accept is going into a situation or a fight knowing I should have won and I lost because of a lack of discipline, a lack of work, a lack of time put in. That's where we
Exactly.
draw the line.
Yeah,
Right? And
right.
I think that's the difference maker between the greats, the goods, and the not so goods. Your motivation is temporary.
Right.
It's a sudden burst of like confidence and
Exactly.
just wanting to say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. But how you respond to those days that you will face when you're tired, when everything becomes repetitive, when you don't feel like getting up in the mornings, when
Yeah.
you don't feel like, putting in the work. I always like to say, write your shit down as a reminder.
Yeah.
When you're at your highest point in terms of just mental state and you're confident and then you're motivated, write that shit down. Date
Yeah.
it, time, this is how I
Dude.
felt at this time,
Dude.
this is my goal here, and when you're feeling down, go back to your shit.
Exactly.
Read it. Okay, this is how I felt. This is who I am at my pure essence.
This is what.
January 1st, such and such, this is what my mindset was like. I can't negotiate with myself, right? I don't
Yeah.
give a shit how I feel. I don't give a fuck who pissed me off. I don't care who made me sad. I don't care.
Exactly.
I'm gonna prove something to myself, and I'm gonna stay true to
Exactly.
myself.
I'm gonna piggyback off what you just said. You right, bro. Like, if you see any motivational speaker, any of them, I don't care who they are, Steve Harvey, Eric Thomas, Micheline Brooks, all of them, they all will tell you they sat down and they wrote down what they needed to get down, and it's all on a list.
Yeah.
Okay, and sometimes they even give you a number.
Right.
300,
Yeah.
300 things.
Yeah.
I want to get this done by this
Yeah.
time. I want to get this done by this time.
Yep.
They do that.
Yep.
They put in the effort. They put in the time and the effort, bro.
You manifest that shit.
Exactly. You
Manifestation,
manifest it.
yeah.